Hey, what's going on, people? It's Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics, and I've got a little bit of Domination for you. Yeah, this is recorded in theater mode because that's usually what I do now. Maybe it's laziness, but it just allows me to, if I'm in the mood to use the theater mode. Of course, I didn't in this case here. The only drawback really is you can't see where I'm placing things like napalm strikes or rolling thunder or anything like that, or even the mortar strikes. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt there, but overall, I don't know. It's just easier because sometimes I forget to turn on my HD PVR and record, and I love the feature, the fact that they have theater mode on this. Anyway, back to this actual game, the 2 steps. The reason why I call it 2 steps, and there's probably actually more than 2 steps, but the 2 steps is basically 2 classes. This is the class I'm using right now, and this is my tryhard class. If you want to call it a noob class or whatever. Now I'm sound whoring. Just by the way, when I'm sitting there and I'm turning sideways, it's because I'm trying to actually listen out of the sides of my headset. Yes, I sound whore all the time. Listen to the other sides of my headset to see and sort of pinpoint where enemy players are. Now, as I said, there's 2 steps here. The 1 step is actually getting a certain number of kill streaks, and this 2 step is only directed to public games. I'm not talking about games where you have a clan and everything like that, because that usually tends to be a lot more organized, and the strategy is going to be completely different. I do not recommend doing this. If you're playing with an actual group and you guys, are focused and you're organized, then this is not something that you want to do. However, in public matches, you cannot, I repeat, cannot depend on randoms to actually know what they're doing and do it sort of properly. So as you can see, we are getting sort of overthrown here. It's not being dominated, but we only have 1 flag. And this is the reason why I'm doing it. Even if I was to run around everywhere, I may be able to help the team get back, but it may be harder. And depending on the skill level of my teammates, they may never be able to actually capture the flags. I mean, they're still not captured. Maybe they're going to get C in a minute here. So this is what I do. I set up the kill streaks. I got my tryhard class on, which has scavenger on, so I don't have to switch it up. I'm going to have enough ammo. I got Semtex, I got claymores. I'm doing everything that I can in order to actually get as many kills as possible. Basically, I'm going to be kill streak whoring, okay? And I know I keep saying that, whatever, just get over it. So there's the first one. I'm going to have it, but I'm not going to use any of the kill streaks until I have all 3. Granted, some of you may struggle to actually get, up to an 11 kill streak and everything like that. But if you're patient, and unfortunately, and I know some of you guys are going to rag on me on this, but if you sort of stay on the perimeter and really don't go after the flags right off the bat there, just sort of make sure you get those kills, stay on the perimeter, because the other team, if they are dominating, like this guy, they're going to be focused solely on getting those flags. And that gives you an opportunity to sort of stay back on the outside fringes and get those kills. Just don't get yourself involved, don't go inside. And remember, I'm only saying this for public matches when you don't know what the hell these, the bunch of randoms are going to actually do in the game. So what you want to do is you want to actually try and get those kills. Once I'm up to 11, you're going to see exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically unleash hell. Dogs are a very important part of this 2-step process. Once I unleash all of the kill streaks, like right here, so now I'm going to actually probably, once I've captured this, I've released the dogs, I'm going to do the rolling thunder, and I'll probably do the mortar strikes as well. I think, do I do them yet? Okay, here, and I might be switching classes now. The whole point, there, I've already switched classes, so there you go. So the second class is a capture class, and the reason why I do this is because it allows me, without having to worry about the skill of your team, when you unleash something like dogs, when you've got rolling thunder, and then you put mortar strikes, and basically you do this all out, pounding the salt on all of the flags, what you're able to do, and I shouldn't be capturing this, by the way, this is a bad one here. We don't want to be doing that. We don't need to dominate. I ended up getting friggin' killed here. Watch this. Oh, dirty bird. Anyway, you don't need to dominate. That's a big no-no there. But anyway, This second class, so once I've unleashed the dogs and all 3 kill streaks, and I do it all at once, what happens is the dogs preoccupy them. When you have dogs in this game, they are incredibly deadly. A lot of players have no idea how to defend against dogs. It preoccupies them. They end up backing the corners going, oh my god, when's the dogs coming? They worry about it. The dogs really do distract them. They keep them busy. And at that point, that's when you hammer and you attack 2 flags. All you need is 2 flags. This should be done, you know, fairly quickly in the beginning of the round, because you don't want the other team to absolutely, you know, dominate to the point where if you only have 2 flags, you're not going to be able to get them back. Once you actually have 2 flags, you know, and make sure usually you want the key flags. You want B and you want A for the most part. Sometimes in certain maps, and I can't remember them, but you don't always want B. B is unnecessary. But for the most part, you want to keep B and whatever one of the flags. Doesn't matter if it's A or C, but you do not get all 3 flags unless it's absolutely necessary. Unless you need to dominate in order to win, then you do not get all 3 flags. And what happens is when you get just 2 flags, is you control their spawning. You don't want to go over that midpoint either. There's a certain sort of threshold. You don't want to push too far into their side. You want to keep them on that side there. And this is very hard because, you know, when you're playing with randoms, again, the same thing happens. You know, you get people that think that they need to dominate. They think that they need to get that 3rd flag. But what happens is when you get that 3rd flag, your team not only will spread out because they're not focused on capturing those 2 flags and staying back, they end up pushing forward all over the map, and what that does is it causes chaos. It causes random spawning of the enemy, and suddenly it's very difficult for your teammates, for yourself, let alone your teammates actually, to control these areas. And basically when you just do the 2, so much easier. They're always going to spawn over at, what is it, C? So C, like this. I mean, I know that they're going to be coming through here. Oh, look at this guy. You little silly. He might have been doing what I was doing, trying to get the kills or whatever spawn. If all of a sudden you know, if you're in the lead and all you're going to do is you're going to keep pushing the problematic one, which is usually B. Hopefully your team is going to actually stay with A, but I mean, if you look at the map right now, you can see the team, they're pushing all for C right now, which is just a stupid move. They don't get it. This is why I never, and you know what, never help them. Do not help these people. Let them friggin' get killed, because that's not helping your team. If you're gonna capture that, do not get them unless absolutely necessary. If the only way to win it is to dominate, then yeah, you're gonna have to push it. But my second class, which is the second step, as I said before, is a rush class. I've got flak jacket on because I expect to be right at the flags. You gotta expect to die. That's where you screw your kill death ratio. Doesn't matter how many times you die. Be game, you know, oriented here. Now, I'm not concerned either. I mean, I'm protecting B. I know that gate there is basically very, very active. I'm going to be going back and forth here, trying to defend B. You got to at least stick. You can't defend all of them. As long as you see somewhat people in the other one, then don't worry about it. Again, I mean, look at the teammates. I'm sure if you're watching this and you're actually in this game or whatever, but you obviously don't get it. I mean, you don't get how to play the game. If you're looking for kill streaks and you're just looking, you know, to get lots of points, that's what deathmatch is. Deathmatch is just going around killing people. If you're gonna play games like this, be somewhat objective oriented. You know what I mean? The whole point is to keep and control the flags in order to win the game, not to rack up tons of kills. Yes, I do rack up kills, but it's for the purpose of actually winning and controlling these flags. Now, once you've controlled them, you put on like a class. You got to have your second class. So now here it is. I mean, I can see that my teammates are friggin' going. We were getting, you know, losing the control of this one. Yes, they controlled the other one. They got the other one, but that was like a haphazard. That was basically a fluke because they have no idea, obviously, what they're doing. Because if they knew what they were doing, they would hold the line near A rather than losing A. You know what I mean? There's no point in risking it. What happens if they were pushing hard on C and they just kept on? Someone was camping it, and they kept on getting annihilated, and then all of a sudden we lost A because nobody's near it. So unfortunately, that's what happens. I know I got to get out of here. That was a stupid move. I can't believe I did that. I'm going to show it anyway. I don't care. Maybe I should have edited it out, but nah, whatever. Such is life. So anyway, the first step, again, put on your tryhard class, get on scavenger, stay on the perimeter, and make sure dogs. Dogs is a huge part. The other stuff is irrelevant. Get the dogs. The dogs will push that opposition away. and then all of a sudden you put on your tryhard, your capture the flag class, which you should have flak jacket on to take those explosions, and just dominate 2 flags. Don't go for all 3 of them. That's an absolutely noobish move, and it's not going to help you. Anyway, that's it. 2 steps to dominating domination. Peace. Get the latest updates and stay in touch with the NGT community with their all-new Facebook application. Check the description of the video for details.